the worst thing is like the looks on these guys' faces. I mean, none of them want to be there when they start showing up.
Yeah, it's
Like
ridiculous.
all the drivers like, do we have to do this every year? And
Why? Why?
Yeah, why?
Why are we doing that?
What? Yeah,
No, but they get paid. They get paid to do that, right?
yeah.
So it's
I mean,
it's part of the deal.
yeah. Why not? Why not? Exactly. Well, here we are again, ready to preview the Saudi Arabian GP. I know you're excited about it. You, as a guy who loves crises with human rights, you've had several human rights violations yourself, so it's a. I know you're the kind of guy who gets up for this kind of race, right?
I love it. You know, I love the hypocrisy of people being quiet on certain topics, but not quiet on other ones. You know, and just hot off the press, right? I think Mercedes signed on a sponsor that has been accused of, causing the death of 70 people in England, an awful accident. I think they produced like fire barrier panels, and those things like just catch fire so quickly and become very hot. So basically the building caught fire and spread across the entire building, killed people. Awful accident. So this company is sponsoring Mercedes, and then the whole Twitter, right? The Twitter crowd, asking Hamilton for a comment. Obviously, most of them are just hateful comment. I'm like, I hate Hamilton. I'm gonna ask him about that. But there's a hint of actually, I agree that even though he's not the one that calls the shots on the sponsorship of the cars, as soon as the sponsorship makes to the car, I think it's fair game to ask him his opinion, right? Because he's so vocal. He's an activist, right? And it's from his country, so he needs to have an opinion on it.
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna wear it on his chest, right? Their logo, I think if he is truly believing all the things that he says, which we think he does, then you have to say like some things are more important than money. I mean, he's got piles like he's Scrooge McDuck when he goes home, right? Like he's just swimming through dollars, so or euros, I guess.
Or
so
combination of both.
Yeah. He's probably pretty big in crypto, I would think. No, you don't think Lewis is a big crypto guy?
I know it's very cryptic.
Very cryptic.
Very cryptic. Hey, anyway, let's start the episode with our condolences to the Williams family. Very sad news that Sir Frank Williams died at the age of 79. I think he was a visionary and a very important part of the F1 history,
without a doubt. Yeah. He left a huge mark on the sport for sure.
I mean, you get those teams that bear names in cars, right?
Yeah.
Brabham, Williams, Tyrrell,
Haas.
Can I be serious for 1 second?
Oh, sorry. I thought we were
McLaren, right? Which it wasn't owned by McLaren, but it's like you get all like even Tyrrell, right? They sucked, but he went on to become Mercedes, right? Tyrrell, Barr, Honda, forget about it, the Mercedes. So I know that it had a huge impact. Like the active suspension era was awesome. On the Williams car. The only sad statistic about about Williams is the fact that their last win. You know who was the last driver to win with the Williams car?
The last Williams driver, Nico Rosberg.
Pastor Maldonado.
Oh,
I would like a petition. I would like a petition to exclude the last win of Williams, and whoever won the second to last should be considered the last winner.
Oh, geez. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, and he still thinks like he should have a seat, right? Like he still thinks that he did, that he can get along pretty well if he had a good ride. So,
God.
All right. Well, yeah. So moving on from the sad news, we'll go to even sadder news, if it were possible, that your boy Toto Wolff refused to replace Bottas with Russell. This is an astonishingly bad choice. Like it makes absolutely no sense why on earth he would not choose to replace Russell. Okay, now's your chance. Defend your boy Toto, because I'm certainly not going to. This is a
I
dumb
don't.
choice for
I
him.
can't. I can't defend him. You know, in the beginning of the season, I was like, "Yo, that's the German tradition, German culture, German
Yep.
way of running business," and I tried to defend them, and I believed that's how they should operate.
Yep.
But after the second half of the season and Bottas being a bomb, they should have yanked him out of that car, put Russell there. No, they don't have a support of a second driver. Might as well put Russell there.
Yep.
And
That's
if
right.
he happens to crash Verstappen, oops, he's not used to the car.
Yeah. There's almost no downside, right? Because okay, yeah, you piss off Bottas, but I mean, unless there's some sponsorship tied directly to him, and even then, who really cares? It can't be worth that much money. But there's really no downside to changing him out at this point, because who cares if he finishes third in the points for the drivers' championship? He's certainly not going to win a race, or
Right.
he wouldn't win a race that Russell couldn't win for you. Just let Russell have a couple extra races to get comfortable in the car. It's makes no sense.
Mercedes is trying to pull a McLaren 98 or 99 where they paid extra money for Coulthard to crash into Schumacher.
Maybe.
But remember that one that he deliberately braked in front of Schumacher, and Schumacher just crashed on his back.
I don't remember it off, but
it was a very iconic moment, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, I know. I mean, bad choice, but
horrible.
Russell already said Monday after Abu Dhabi, I'll be at Mercedes garage, working next year. So it's exciting. At least there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
Well, another thing that came up this week, I went back and reviewed some of the car radio that came out from Qatar. There's a really good YouTube channel. I think it's F1 Unfiltered, where they put all this together. It's an excellent channel.
That's good. Yep.
Shout out to those guys, whomever is doing it.
Guys and gals
who, like I said, they're great. Whomever is doing. What we find from Qatar is that there were a lot of teams having fuel issues. In particular, a lot of drivers were being told to lift and coast. Your boy Danny Rick was being told to LICO, lift and coast. So are you ready to apologize to Danny Rick? Because it wasn't his fault that he was super duper slow. It's partially on the team. Are you ready to apologize for crushing him for his slow pace?
When was this radio? Back in January?
Well, geez. I mean, you've been lifting and coasting on this podcast all year. I mean, right? I mean,
excuse me. I'm the one to put the effort here. I research stuff. I create the episode notes. What are you talking about? I have this podcast.
That's great, because you've never entered a note into the podcast. Jeez,
I don't do menial work. I come here and talk about it.
Yeah. You come here and spit hot fire, right? You just got the hot takes.
Listen, before our good buddy Chaos at Turn 1 comes hot at us, it's all for the great good of making people laugh. Okay, I don't have real hate towards Daniel Ricciardo. I don't think he's average, but
red light chaos. LK. Red light LK, not what you say in the DMs though, man. As soon as we start recording, you get really soft. Huh? All right.
Soft LK.
Well, but it was interesting that a lot of teams were. It seemed that they were concerned about fuel making it to the end.
I know.
And the other thing that came out is that there several teams did plan on a single stop. In particular, Gasly and some others who, that from the get-go, I think even Checo as well. Plan A was a one stopper, and they switched to Plan B. So it seems like most teams thought one stop was the way to go. But then after they saw the issues that Bottas and Latifi had, everybody kind of changed really fast after that. So there's a lot to unravel from Qatar.
But the fuel saving, right? It wouldn't impact because they cannot refuel during pit stop. So one stop or two stop. I think the fuel problem would be there. Unless tires influence a little bit on fuel consumption, but it should be minimal on their calculation, right? They should.
I guess what I'm saying is that they were changing stuff on the fly, right? Like I don't think anybody went into that race expecting to have to do a ton of lift and coast, right? Like guys were 2 seconds slow off the leader's pace. And it wasn't just that they were that slow. It's like they were just trying to get to the end.
Meanwhile, Lewis was just
ripping through. Yeah,
I know. It's so,
or he was just going fast enough. Just fast enough to stay 7 or 8 seconds ahead of.
I wonder if our buddy Bryson could explain why the consumption was so high. I'll reach out to him, see if he has any opinion on that.
Yeah, and it would be interesting to know if it's going to be that way this week in Jeddah, because so Jeddah's supposed to be.
You mean that track that came out of a 6-year-old drawing during arts class?
It definitely does not look like the Ebola virus. It does not. It's not shaped like. Yeah, this is the squiggle hairpin.
Oh my god!
So it's supposed to be the fastest average speed. So it's over 6 kilometers long. I think only Spa is longer.
Speaking of which, right?
Oh,
we have some live shots from the.
Yeah, this is way more interesting than listening to you. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, but for those listening to the pod, like we just have a live stream from the race. But yeah,
from FP. Yeah,
this track is so tight. Like.
Very tight.
Tell me tell me whatever you want, camera angles or whatever. This track's tight. It reminds me of Detroit in the 80s. Remember when they used to run Detroit?
Right, yeah.
It's so tight.
But Baku is also very tight in some areas, right? Especially like the castle section is extremely tight, right? Because if we saw a couple of years ago where your boy from Ferrari wrecked and blocked the whole track, right? Leclerc. So I mean, so when if somebody has an issue, I think we've seen tight tracks before. I don't know that this one is particularly any different. I guess if there's an issue, it would be the combination of low grip and the tightness. But I think guys are going to take it easy here in FP1. Mazepin is definitely going to smack the wall, but. I think everybody else kind of take it easy and kind of you'll see the speeds ramp up throughout the weekend.
I agree. I think FP1 and 2 will be more like track, learning. Yeah. And even I think Luis wouldn't be using the engine from Brazil now. I think he's going to save maybe for FP2 or FP3 and then qualies and race.
Right.
Now it's like learning mode and trying to see where they can push, where they can need to break a little earlier and get to know the track. I bet Alonso will find a way to do those turns in a way that nobody has taught. Like what was the one that the bank?
Oh, in the Dutch GP.
Yeah.
Zandvoort. Yeah. Which again astonishes me that you think like he's the first man ever to go to use like the high line around a bank turn.
NASCAR.
I mean, it's like he's just such a driving genius.
Sorry.
Oh, geez, yeah, it makes me want to throw up too. All right, so this particular track, if you do not like it, Ross Brawn is going to hunt you down and make you watch the race with him because they have been selling this hard, and I mean they have to, but also they should be. Yeah, it's understandable, but like if you better like this race.
Oh yeah, and Domenicali is talking about adding another China race. These people are delusional. They're bringing Formula One to places that
Why is that Alpine so ugly? Oh, what is with that livery on the Alpine?
Well, it's a special Castrol 100 races with Alpine, I think, or 100 races in Formula One.
Oh, it's like a frog vomited on the back half of that vehicle. Jeez, that thing is ugly.
Frog vomited in what's the name? What's the movie? Fuck, the one that they're all blue and
Anaconda.
Avatar. A frog vomited on Avatar. Watch that movie, Avatar? No.
Yeah.
What was it?
There's a frog. I remember there were dragons.
Can you
There were
stick
dragons in that one. Yeah.
stick to Formula One, please?
I was commenting on that terrible paint scheme. I don't. All right. So you said Fidel Castro's 100th race. Is that what that was? What did you say?
No, Castrol.
Oh, Castrol. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, something completely different.
Yeah.
All right.
So over 6 kilometers long, 252 kilometers an hour average, right?
Yeah, that's what they think. Yeah, 27 turns. Although I think Martin Brundle has said like only 14 of them are going to be actual turns.
Yeah. Yeah, but speaking of Martin Brundle, I was watching the F2 free practice this morning. His son sounds like him. It's so creepy. Have you heard? Have you listened to his son?
No.
So his son does the broadcasting for Formula 2.
Yeah,
it's amazing how their voices are basically the same.
Does he still brag how his dad beat Senna in a go-kart race or something like that?
Yeah, the claim to fame.
Yeah. Well, so this weekend, I mean, do you think experience makes a big difference? Because we talked about, they're going to have to hunt around and figure out the track. I think, as Steve Matchett would say, that they have to find the mu, which is the grip coefficient for that to match their simulations. But you think experience makes a difference? Because your boy Max thinks that the answer is no, that Lewis's vast experience is not going to help out much.
As much as I dislike Verstappen, I agree with him. I don't think experience plays a role here. Because you can get like the young drivers, they have nothing to lose. Sometimes the less experience makes them be more aggressive. Not to say that Hamilton's not aggressive. I just don't think it's a huge factor in the great scheme here. I think they train so much, right? That this is irrelevant if they are 35 or 22.
Yeah, and but at this level, you don't have too many guys who are just going kind of crazy with right out the gate. I mean, you don't really have guys driving over their head too much because there's too much on the line. Like losing the practice time is so valuable. I don't think you'll see a ton of just stupid mistakes, but I think you will see as the weekend progresses, guys, trying to find the limits further and further, and maybe the less experienced guys tap the wall in practice.
Right,
but I think by the time it comes to race, these guys are such pros. Any accident that's going to be a true racing incident.
Plus, at this day and age, with all the analytics and the telemetry that they have, they know they basically don't drive based on their movements. They drive based on numbers, right? Hey, at 165 meters, start braking. It's not feeling, it's data. So once they read the telemetry, they know what to do. Except Mazepin or Tsunoda, they just screw it anyway. But I don't think it's a big difference unless you are not talented like Bottas and fuck up something. I don't think that's the difference. But I am excited about the fact that everyone is hyping Mercedes so much, and in every single weekend that they were hyping Mercedes so much to be the winner, Mercedes failed. Either Red Bull was better, or they botched a pit stop or their strategy, and Red Bull started winning. So I don't know. As much as I want to see Hamilton winning this weekend, I'm not confident that my German brothers, comrades, will be able to pull that off.
Yeah, it really seems that Brazil is such a turning point. I mean, obviously the race was kind of a surprise to see just how fast Lewis was, but it almost broke a lot of the Red Bull fans as well, because they're like, they had every opportunity or Max had every opportunity to really take control of the championship, and it didn't happen. And now they're all kind of wary. Whereas if we think about early on in the season, it was, okay, does Red Bull have the will or the ability to catch Mercedes? Because Mercedes was really fast right out the gate, right? And then they realized, you know what, Red Bull can be good at certain tracks. And then we found out, like, hey, they're pretty much good everywhere. And then, something, the switch that flipped at Brazil made a big difference. as we take a look in here at the Ferrari with that wing is definitely not flexing, not a millimeter.
It's barely moving.
It's very. So I think this weekend, Max is he's going to have to establish whether or not he is going to be this year's champion, right? I mean, there's only two chances left, this race and the next one, but he has a slight lead. He has the 8-point lead. There's a possibility, mathematically, it's possible for him to wrap it up this weekend.
Right.
I don't know. I certainly don't think that's going to happen. It seems sort of it would take unusual circumstances.
But he's in such a comfortable position, right?
Oh yeah.
Like Hamilton needs to do all the catch up, and imagine a situation where none of them finish this race. Like then, shit just got real, right? For the next race. So like fast lap, all of those things will play a huge role. Imagine Hamilton. Imagine they don't finish this one, and then the next one, Hamilton is leading, Verstappen in third. He goes for fastest lap and win the championship like that. So that would be my dream scenario.
So, right. So if they finish first and second, and first gets a fastest lap, right? That's an 8-point delta, right?
Yeah, they are tied.
But I think Max owns pretty much all the tiebreakers, right? Because he has the more wins, right? Is that what they go to?
Yeah,
I haven't researched.
I think even if Hamilton wins the next two, Verstappen still has more wins. So yes,
right. Okay.
Because
he has 9. I think he has 9 wins, right?
Yeah, and Hamilton has 5 or 6.
6, I think. Yeah.
So he would go to 8.
So I guess the main thing is that Lewis has to eat into the points lead. Right? He certainly cannot give up any points. Realistically, he needs to take at least 1 point away from Max. So yeah, all the pressures on Lewis to perform, and which he's a guy that rises to the occasion.
We know,
so
but the thing is, more likely than not, the person who will have to steal that fastest lap point will be Bottas, right? I think maybe if they're fighting for first and second, Hamilton and Verstappen, they won't risk going to the pit stop unless it's a case like last week that Verstappen will go for the fastest lap because he's way behind. But then the Mercedes will have to call into Bottas to go and steal that fastest lap, and I don't think he has the skill set to do that.
Yeah, I mean, who would actually trust him to do that? I mean, other than he puts on the soft tires and maybe he picks up speed, but like I don't trust him to even be able to do that, because anytime you add pressure to VB, he melts. He is just soft butter. He's Play-Doh. You put any kind of pressure on him, he just squishes out.
Yep.
Right? I mean, just squishes all in the seat. No, actually, yes, he is my boy. I've always been a Bottas fan my entire life. Yeah,
he's our boy. So, how about the greatest topic that I've ever introduced to this podcast? The fight of thirds. What do you think is going on there?
No, correction. The greatest topic you ever brought into this is your man crush on Pierre. All right, that's 1A. I guess 1B. Yeah, you're the fight of turds. It's McLeody's last chance, but they're done in terms of the constructors, and then. In terms of the drivers' championship, who's going to finish third? Perez needs to have a really good weekend. Again, I didn't look up the point differential. I think it's something like 12 or 13 points, something like that. It could even be more. He needs to have a really good weekend to make up the points. So I think those battles are pretty much set. It's barring a huge Bottas accident.
So do you think Bottas will get third?
No.
I think
Or
Perez
yes,
will.
yeah. Or sorry, yes. Because Bottas is ahead, yes, and then I think
Yeah.
Ferrari has sealed up third in the drivers or the constructors.
Okay, so you're betting on your boy Bottas.
I think he built up enough lead that yeah, he's just going to back into it, even though he's terrible.
Yeah. Yes, and yeah, you called it. I think at this point, Ferrari is third place to lose, and it's not looking good for McLaren. I think they've been lifting coasting since the summer break.
Yeah.
And then with that pathetic Italian GP where Norris just accepted or begged to be second instead
Oh,
of fighting.
what a
And now
beta move.
yeah, and then
Beta.
he says he's ready to fight for wins next year.
I,
I was like, why?
well, yeah, I mean, he's basically in that interview that you're talking about. He basically said like, "Yeah, whatever happens the rest of the year this year is fine." Like that is not what you want out of your driver. You want your driver to say, "No, if there's a race, if there's a trophy to win,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for it." Like that, I'd rather him go try to win, like even wrecking, trying to win. At least you feel good, like he gave everything he had. Whereas like this, well, if we finish fourth, and as long as I get to the end of the race, everybody will be happy. As long as I can still have my wristwatch and nobody beats me up in the parking lot, I'll be happy. Like, not what you want. Total beta move. I'm pretty much. I think I'm slowly becoming out on Norris. Right. I mean,
I am. Yeah, I lost a lot of respect after Italy, and then he botched victory in Sochi, which was back to back. That was the demise of him in this season.
Yeah.
And now he's gonna be richer because he's moving to Monaco, tax haven. He's gonna be able to.
He's a man of the people, moving to Monaco.
Man of the people. And I see a lot of people criticizing him on Twitter. Half I agree, half not. I mean, every single driver that makes money goes there. That's fine. But I think apparently in the beginning of the year he gave some interview saying, "Why would I move to Monaco? I want to be near my friends and all." So the change of mindset is kind of what got people upset. The hypocrisy, right? We need to hold people accountable, and I think he just backtracked, and that's bad. And speaking of backtracking, you always do that, so I'm used to it. So it is what it is.
All right. Do you want to talk about the battle for fifth place in constructors at all? Do you care?
Is that your competing topic against my fight of thirds?
Yeah, I mean it's more interesting, I guess, than the fight of turds.
Right,
I guess I'm waiting to take my victory lap probably next week for Ferrari finishing third, because if you remember earlier this year, I was the one. I was the one who said they need to keep developing this year, that they needed to try to bring more upgrades. And I think it was the naysayers, i.e. you, that were saying, no, they should just skip to next year. Forget this. This is hopeless. So I'll take my victory lap next week when they seal down third place officially. So.
From a business perspective, makes no sense. All jokes aside, like why would they unless they can use all the developments for next year? It makes no sense. Yeah. Which I think that the engine part, which is the major development, I think they can leverage next year. Right?
Exactly.
The engine is not changing. Right. So yeah, from that perspective, yes. But all the aerodynamics and all that shit, I think they're saving the right. No,
you're probably 100% right that it's all been engine development. I don't know that I've seen a whole lot of aero upgrades. They may have had some stuff that was already planned, but it looks to be all engine, because since both the guys changed their engines, they've just been on fire and getting solid finishes. Your man Leclerc, most consistent man on the grid, as you said.
I know. I still don't see the. I still don't see the. That fixation that Ferrari has on Leclerc. I think they have a much better driver on Sainz, and they are clearly excluding Sainz from their future plans. Talking about other drivers. Even Sainz this week on the drivers' interview on Thursday, he was with Ricardo, and they were joking about how many teams they had. Banned, and I think Ricardo has been on 5 teams and Sainz on 4th. And a little comment he did that basically nobody picked up on was Carlos said, "Yeah, soon I'll be matching your record." So I don't think he also believes he's going to be a Ferrari for a long time, which is sad because he's
Yeah,
a good driver.
you know, there is a little bit of the Vettel effect that has happened to Leclerc, because when Leclerc was up against Vettel, he sort of rose to the occasion, right? And then now that he has a guy nipping at his heels, he's sort of sinking back. And so I fully believe if they had been giving Sainz the better strategy throughout, he would probably be ahead of Leclerc by a mile in terms of points and finishes. But they keep giving him the crappy strategy, putting him on the soft tires when everybody else is on hards and that kind of stuff. So they've been kind of screwing with him, kind of like they do your boy Bottas. But I think.
And they've been treating him as a second driver, right? Or the alternative strategy.
That's right.
For races, and he is still only 6 points behind Leclerc.
To his credit, though, I mean, he makes it work, right? That's what you want out of the second driver, is like, yeah, we're going to give you the crappy jobs, the crappy stuff to do, but if you do it well, you can still have good finishes and still prove that you're a great driver. So, yeah, I think Sainz has a great future ahead of him. It's probably not at Ferrari.
Might not be a Ferrari.
Yeah,
we'll see.
But there's not really anywhere else he can go, though. I mean,
for now, I'm hoping that 2022 or 2025 changes like completely, throw chaos. Yeah, everything.
Well, are you ready to? You ready to make people throw up in their mouth with your predictions here?
Sure. You want me to go first?
Let's get the pain out of the way first, and then I'll bring some normalcy to this place.
So, as an agent of chaos. And considering, I use AWS analytics and statistics for this one. So mix up Monaco and Baku, right?
Yeah.
Put all of them together, right? What I came out after crunching numbers and possibilities.
Monaco and Baku. It's like a horrible race and a pretty good race mixing together. So you just get a turd sandwich. All right, go ahead.
Right. So can I start with my hot take?
Yeah.
Hamilton will not finish. DNF for Hamilton. Okay.
Bewildering take. Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Verstappen somehow will get some sort of tangling, either with Hamilton or someone else, and he will have to fight up the grid. He will end up finishing third. Okay. So my winner this weekend is Bottas.
No.
Followed by Perez.
Just
followed by Perez, Verstappen, Norris, and Gasly. You're
still beating this Gasly drum, even though
it's my boy. He messed me this week. I mean, I renewed my support.
You renewed.
Renewed our vows.
He was certainly disappointing in Qatar. That's probably the worst set of picks we've made all year. So congratulations, you saved the worst for the end.
We shall see.
Okay,
there's one more race. Don't forget it.
Jeez, can't wait. Can't wait for those predictions. You probably got Sonoda on the podium or something. All right, so. Let me tell you what will actually happen. Is Hamilton is going to rise to the occasion. It's going to be Hamilton, Verstappen close behind in second place. Just based on he drives a Mercedes, I'm going to give Bottas the third place. There's really no other reason why I think that he'll be in third. I don't think he's going to be fast, but I think just he's in a good car. Norris, I think they bounce back. McLeody does, and he finishes fourth. And then Perez in fifth. Perez just has a way of, when there's a good opportunity, sometimes he finds a way to screw it up. It just seems to be his MO this year, unfortunately. My hot take is that Williams will honor Sir Frank the best way they know how, by finishing 16th and 17th. That's how they're gonna honor him with. I think they have a special thing on the car this week.
Yep.
And they're gonna honor him by coming next to last.
It's supposed to be a hot take, not ice cold, boring take. That's what they do every week. So
that's what they do. Well, I guess I should have put them in 17th and 18th, but I figured like one other car will probably fall back. Probably Giovinazzi or something will finish 18th.
Or Snowda.
Snow, yeah. Or somebody have an accident. All right. Do you want to take a guess of when Sir Lewis will complain about his tires? So, actually, so which tires? I thought it was C2, C3, C4, but is it the C1, C2, C? Which tires are they?
Not sure.
I think it's C2, C3, C4,
okay.
But I could be wrong.
As always.
Yeah.
How many laps? 50?
50, 50. Yeah.
Fuck it. I'm gonna go 31.
31.
Yeah.
31. Okay. I think it's going to be 22 because I think they will try. That'll be around the first pit stop, maybe around lap 20. I think they're going to try to go halfway, but we'll have to see how the track wears in as the weekend goes. But so both of us are thinking it's going to be a little bit later. But who knows? Like if the track doesn't wear in. We could be everybody on a 2, maybe even 3 stopper if it doesn't.
But the thing is, more often than not, they are using a lot of the hard tires, right? Whatever the compound is, but the hardest of the available ones. So, it's always up in the air what happens. It's not funny this year. I liked when Lewis used to complain on like lap 10, like, Bono, my tires are gone. That was the fun part of it. Now it's all up in the air. And speaking of it, like we're seeing like Ted Kravitz explaining about the tarmac on the circuit. So who knows about it?
You have to give him credit. I mean, 12 months ago, this was just an idea, and then now they have an actual track there. And I mean, and I know like it was sort of, they said they had to go in and approve it and there was a 1,000,000% chance that they were going to approve it. Like there's no way they're going to dump all that money and delay. But you have to give them some credit. I mean, they did throw together a track really fast, and it's pretty neat to see that they can do that. And
just to wrap it up, like we didn't talk about our feelings for this race or track. What are your thoughts and expectations?
So it has. Did they settle on 3 DRS zones? I think. Yep. So I think you're going to see a ton of DRS passes. Other than that, pretty much follow the leader. I think that plays into Mercedes' hands, right? That you're just going to see a bunch of passes at the end of the straights. So is the race going to be good? There must. I'm assuming there will be some kind of something extra thrown in there because not knowing the tire wear until the race itself. So I think there'll be a little bit of excitement, but overall, all the passing's just down the straight.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I wouldn't say boring because it's a super high speed circuit, but with all like the tightness and how narrow the track is, there might be a lot of safety cars or accidents. And at the very threat of a car hitting something, the safety car deploys. So it's their biggest and the best chance for Aston Martin to actually have those safety cars out there, because I think they've only been out once. I hope that they follow their tradition of not having safety cars in Aston Martin led races. Not a knock on Aston Martin, just like a coincidence, but I hope that doesn't happen. But I think more likely than not, there will be a safety car, and it's just boring.
I'm going to go on the other side. I think everybody's going to be on their best behavior, and it'll be.
Have you met Mazepin?
That's I mean, Mazepin is going to pitch it in the wall here in practice pretty soon if he hasn't already. But I think everybody's going to be on their best behavior and put on a decent show.
All right.
All right. Well, speaking of Aston Martin, I think what we'll add on to the end of our audio episode. So make sure you download the podcast. You'll get to hear my interview with Jessica Hawkins, which was awesome. She was so great that I got to talk to her. She's the best.
Right.
So
cool. All right, I'll see you next week then.
Enjoy and shout out to Dan in the chat. He dominated the chat today. So good job.
Shout out Dan, our former intern. Dan.
All right. Enjoy the race.
Bye.